fly to Dubai, but I am broke and I am poor and poverty has me in a chokehold. Babes, you're not going to get out of that situation if you keep on speaking like that.
There is life and death in the power of the tongue. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So what you're saying is also a reflection of what is in your heart. People are not ready for this conversation, but a lot of people are secretly in love with the poverty that they're in because of what they're saying. Or what they're saying, it gives off that impression that they secretly like the situation that they're in. And that is all due to the words which you're saying. If I don't have anything to say, I either shush or take that and turn it into something positive. If I know that I don't have the financial resources to do whatever it is, or if I know that I'm not able to do it in the moment, then I'll say I'm not able to do it in the moment. But instead of me speaking bad about myself, I would just twist it around because anything is possible and I'm not going to limit myself. You need to be extremely careful with the words that you speak, and this is more than just money. Even in your relationships, if you keep on saying, oh, all men are crap, all men ain't shit, men ain't this, men ain't that, do you really expect to find someone that's like genuine and to find someone that's all that, to find someone that is everything that you want, if you have that belief that all men are useless? If you keep on speaking it out all the time, that's why I've never been part of the all men are this and all men are that. If I know that the men around me are not what I want them to be, then that it is what it is. But you do something to get yourself out of that environment. If you know that you are a Porsche or you are a Ferrari and you see that all of the other cars parked around you are Toyotas or Kias and that's not what you want, then go park where other Ferraris are. But instead of you just sitting there and complaining about your situation, you're not like, it's not going to change if you keep on complaining about it. Rather just shush, get up and do the work to change your environment. And that's the thing when it comes to the, like, your tongue and your actions. You need to be extremely aware of what you're saying and very self-aware that you never know what might happen. So if you're anything like me, you truly believe that you need to be extremely careful of what you say. The human brain is a lot more than what you think it is. And if you are not aware of what you're saying and what you're thinking, then you don't know the extent of the damage of what you're doing to yourself and how you are self-sabotaging yourself because of what you're saying. And this is something that I have seen happening in my own life. For an example, whenever I have a goal that I want to achieve, I would repetitively say that I know that I can do this. I know that I can be on the top 10. I know that I can make the Dean's merit list. I know that I can do X, Y, and Z. And the more that you say it out loud, the more real it becomes to yourself. Now, this is not manifestation. I'm going to make this very clear. This is not manifestation. This is nothing to do with the new age. This is none of that. If you're looking for that, this is not the right place for that. I'm very sorry. The whole point of this is just to show and to help you see just how powerful your words can be and just how powerful everything is, especially to your brain. It's the same thing as to why they say avoid watching movies that have extreme violence, avoid playing games that have a lot of violence, because you are exposing yourself to that stuff. And over time, if you've noticed children that are exposed to violence, children that are exposed to those things or things of that nature, as they grow up, they become extremely violent, they become extremely aggressive. And that's because they imitate that behavior. So taking that same principle and applying to this, the more that you start speaking bad about yourself, the more that your brain subconsciously believes whatever it is that you're saying. If you keep telling yourself that I am not a good singer, I'm not a good dancer, I'm not good at maths, you are never going to be good at maths. You're never going to be a great singer. You're never going to be a great dancer because you fed yourself that narrative to the point where you've subconsciously believed it. This is the whole point here. This is nothing to do with manifestation. I don't do that. However, I just want to explain just how important, especially going into the new year, on how to become a better person for the new year, how to achieve all of our goals. But again, if you cannot achieve those goals if your system is broken. You need to have a proper system, and a system is built of little things that are done every single day, incremental things that will help you get to that grand goal or whatever that is that you hope to achieve. However, you need to be aware of things that is stopping you from achieving that, and one of those things is the way that you speak to yourself and the things that you say about yourself. That's why you'll never catch me speaking bad about myself out loud. It's a habit I am working very hard to break, and it is a habit that I have broken, that you will not catch me speaking bad about myself, because the moment that you start doing it, it becomes real to you and it becomes real to everyone else. It's more than just the way that you speak to yourself. It's also the way that you speak about your current situation. If you know that you are not where you want to be in life, especially financially, if you know that your finances are not in the right place, and you go out there and you start speaking, or even if it is in a conversation with your friends, and you're like, I want to fly to Dubai, but I am broke and I am poor and poverty has me in a chokehold. Babes, you're not going to get out of that situation if you keep on speaking like that. Really, you're not going to get out of that situation if you keep on speaking like that. There's a difference between being delusional and knowing your situation but doing something about it. For an example, the same situation, but let's say that there is a group of friends, and this group of friends is talking about flying to Dubai, right, for a holiday or for whatever. And then one of the friends says what was said before: poverty has them in a chokehold, they are not going anywhere, that kind of stuff. If that was me, and if I was in that current situation, and I know that as of right now my finances do not allow me to do that or to fly to Dubai, instead of me saying poverty has me in a chokehold and it will forever have me in a chokehold, I would rather I would either just keep quiet, or B, I would say, as of right now, I do not have the financial resources to do that yet. Keyword is yet, because sooner or later it is going to happen and I will be in that position to do that. However, as of right now, I'm not going to self-sabotage my way with the words that I speak, because the words that you speak, it becomes real to you consciously and subconsciously, and out of the abundance of the heart the mouth speaks. So what you're saying is also a reflection of what is in your heart. Like, this is a habit that has taken me a long time to learn, a while to master. It is a work in progress. It is forever going to be a journey, but each day you focus on getting better and getting better. If your business is not where you want it to be, stop calling yourself a brokey. Stop saying this business is useless. Stop speaking bad things about your current situation, because you're going to be focusing on the negatives in that situation. Speak positively about yourself. If you know that you are not where you want yourself to be, academically, financially, physically, emotionally, stop speaking bad about yourself. And there's a quote that I heard, I can't remember where, but it's saying the way that you speak to yourself is not the same way that you would speak to your younger sister or to your younger brother. If you know that you would get extremely upset by someone else repeating the same words that you have said to yourself, to your younger sibling, then why would you say those words to yourself? There's a difference between being your own critic and being self-aware and, self-improvement. I'm not bashing that. But what I am saying is that there's no point in you speaking negatively about yourself, because those words have the power to impact your brain at a subconscious level. That is why people are always saying, speak good things, speak positively. Again, this is nothing to do with new age. This is nothing to do with manifesting. But again, the power of life and death is in the tongue. I think it is Paul that says that the hardest part of the body to control is the tongue. I don't know, there's a verse in the Bible that says basically that the tongue is uncontrolled and the tongue is the hardest to control, because not only are you able to hurt your own self, you're also able to hurt those around you. You never know what people are going through. You never know if the person next to you, if it might just be their last straw, and you coming and saying bad things to them is not going to make the situation better. I have been on the other end of this. I have been the person that has said things unintentionally that has ended up hurting people, and that entire experience has taught me that if you have nothing good to say, zip it, lock it, and throw the key away. If you have nothing good to say, just also, if you are not asked advice, however, don't give that advice, because sometimes unsolicited advice is truly not needed. And that's when it can be misinterpreted for, you think that you're better than me, you think that you know it all. If you happen to know more than the next person on a particular situation or topic, Rather, just don't hand out advice unsolicited, because in that it can be misinterpreted. Unless you feel like, okay, this person actually need this, then sure, but you need to have the discernment to see, when should I say this or when should I not say this, because it can be misinterpreted. Yeah, it really can be misinterpreted. So I hope that this has resonated with you. I hope that you learned something. And if you have any questions, do not hesitate to leave them down below, and I will get back to them as soon as I can.